All right, Big Man, today is Monday. It is January 29th. Welcome to the Dog Walk, presented by Barstool Sports. Snake Draft Monday. Smorts, I said it's sports. Snake Draft Monday. We are drafting sidekicks today. We're joined on Zoom by Klemmer and Smitty. Klemmer, how we feeling?
Great. Yeah, I haven't done one of these in a few months. These are always fun. I'm super excited.
Smitty, I feel like you haven't done one in a while either.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's been a really hot minute. I saw the video games draft, and I was offended a little bit, but we're good. We're good. Not offended by the lack of participation for myself. I was offended by the idiocy to your right.
I never played Zelda. I'm sorry.
Even though I agree with this number one overall pick.
Wow. Why are you offended at what I did then?
Because I didn't think you have the ability to eloquently explain why it's a number one overall pick.
I'm talking to guys who have never played the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why you need a true blue expert, not somebody who wanted to just fuck all the Zoras.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't. It's all you have to say. It's the best video game of all time.
He complimented you out of the gate. I thought you guys were going to be on a good start, but it seemed like that the compliment wasn't taken well, Smitty.
These are the number one frenemies, I feel like, at the company. Like White Sox Dave and Smitty love to just shit talk each other nonstop, but at the end of the day, they actually genuinely like each other.
I don't know about that.
See? Hey, Smitty, he loves you. He loves you.
Mm-mm. I love Dave.
Yeah.
But at what point of the dog walk is he just going to bring up that I lost like $500,000 playing poker? That's what
I'll get there.
Yeah, exactly.
I will get there.
Yeah,
I don't even know that Klemmer knows that story.
Just out of nowhere.
We'll get there, and then
there.
Smitty, you could retort with your spaghetti on the dog's ear story.
Which is just a fabrication.
I think we'll retire that one.
No, I don't want you. I don't want either of you to retire those. I think that's a good tradition.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
I haven't had to call him or his wife for veterinary advice in like 4 or 5 months now.
I'd say a month or two, maybe. But it's been a hot minute.
A month or when's the last? I know when the last time was, and it was last summer, like the end of last summer, when my dog's ear almost got lopped off by a fucking a chihuahua or something.
Yeah, that's true, and you didn't want to take him to the hospital to get antibiotics.
That's why I called. I'm like, hey, is this something I need to go to the hospital for? Yes, you should take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
I would prefer not to drop $500 if not needed.
His ear was off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you think the answer was going to be no, Dave? Like, how did you think that was going to play out?
His ear was. I mean, he was like his mood and everything was 100% normal. But his ear was bleeding. So it had to get cauterized and shit. It cost me like $550. It was very annoying, but like he was fine. He just had a little cut on his ear.
So you kind of think Smitty's wife should pay?
No,
$500.
I called to see, hey, is this something I do need to absolutely drop this money on? Not me. I'm not touching nothing.
And the ear was like hanging on by a thread.
No, it wasn't. It was the edge of it.
Oh, this poor dog.
No, Ace is good mutt.
He is a good mutt.
We love Ace. We'll do anything for him.
Poor Ace. All right, we could do the order. Shout out to Rudy. He won last week. See, I don't just shout out my wins.
There you go.
I narrowly lost. So it hurt. I thought I was going to win that one. But anyways.
It's not a strong category for me. I can admit that now.
What, the
video games? I was really kind of.
Your list completely sucked.
Well, I was on the poll. And I don't know. I was always just more of a sports guy. So.
Yeah. All right. Lance is number 1 through 5 behind his back. Smitty, what number is it?
3.
No.
Klemmer.
2.
No.
Chief.
1.
No.
Dave.
4.
No.
5.
Yes.
Go first, you pussy.
I'll take 1. Sure.
Okay.
All right. 1 through 4. Smitty.
2.
No.
Klemmer.
3.
Yes.
I'll go second.
All right. 1 through 3. Chief.
3.
No.
2.
No.
God damn it.
Smitty.
1?
Yeah.
All right.
Got it.
None gets by
All
Smitty.
So you got the 1 pick. I'll take the 3.
Okay. Going in an order. Chief, 1 or 2?
1.
Yeah.
I'll go 5th, I guess.
All right. So the order is Eddie, Klemmer, Smitty, White Sox, Dave, Chief. Sidekicks draft. It's a free for all. You could take any category, fictional, non, whatever. It's completely up to you. With that said, I'm first on the clock, and I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to take Scottie Pippen. And I know this is going to be met with the retort that Scottie Pippen was damn good. He was damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play next to the greatest ever, you're a sidekick. Unfortunately so.
Bet you Scottie Pippen is going to be pissed if this gets across his desk.
But why should sidekick be seen as a bad thing?
It shouldn't, but I think it would be for a lot of athletes, just based on their competitive nature, you know?
I also feel like basketball is the only sport with sidekicks.
Oh, I disagree.
I
With
totally disagree
genuine
with that.
sidekicks.
Disagree.
Okay, well, we'll see how it goes.
Eddie, I like that pick. A great sidekick makes a great player, or great whatever, so whoever he's sidekick to better. And Jordan never won a title without Pippen. So Pippen did make Jordan better.
Mm-hmm.
But Jordan's obviously better than Pippen, but Pippen I think is a great sidekick.
There's no doubt that Pippen's the greatest sports sidekick of all time. I'm just questioning value here. I think it's a Chicago homer pick going 1-1 overall. I think there's an obvious 1-1. Eddie, you had the first choice of the pick. You could have went 2 and still got Pippen.
Interesting. You think there's another 1-1? Like Klemmer said, I think I have the best sports one on the board, and I think that's
easily
important.
the best sports one.
No, I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, I think there's just a clear 1-1. I think you could have gotten Pippen at 2 or 3.
Okay. That's interesting. Maybe. He's definitely would have went top 3. I'm confident in that. I think Pippen's
easily the top sports sidekick of all time.
Yeah, surefire first rounder.
I'm not so sure of that.
I think that if you polled everybody, 100 people, Family Feud style, 95 of them are saying Scottie Pippen for best sports sidekick.
Yeah, I would agree, but I think there's a better one.
I think you're overthinking.
I don't think so.
He's overthinking.
We'll see. I don't think there's any other way that he's not, right?
And it's used in so many expressions, it's like Jordan and Pippen. The way it just rolls off the tongue, the way it's embedded into pop culture is really strong. So Scottie Pippen's my 1-1. Klemmer, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I think the most obvious one. It's one I really love. I grew up loving Batman and Robin. Robin, I think, is the greatest sidekick ever. I love the comic books growing up. There's been a couple different incarnations of Robin. The original one with Dick Grayson is the best one, I think. Robin made Batman better. It's the first thing when you sent me that text, we're doing sidekicks. The very first thing I thought of is Batman and Robin. Mm-hmm. I think Robin is the greatest sidekick of all time.
I think he's kind of a dink.
Robin's badass. Are you kidding me? Dink.
He's
a teenager that fights crime. He's fighting the Joker. He's fighting the Riddler. He's a teenager. That's pretty ballsy.
Okay.
What were you doing when you were a teenager, Chief?
So here's the thing. I didn't know he was a teenager.
I didn't know that either.
Not that changes my mind, but it goes into the fact that I guess fault me that I never watched the real old school TV series. Fault me I never watched the cartoons. But really, Robin, I've seen pretty much all the Batman movies. Robin's in the one with
Christian Bale.
Two-Face. No,
before that.
He's in the one with Two-Face, the one who plays that one, Val Kilmer or Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Chris O'Donnell played
Chris
Robin.
O'Donnell.
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah.
That's my only introduction to Robin, and I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. As far as a sidekick, he's one of the most famous ones, but I can't really tell you anything good about him.
I feel like
he's an orphan. He's a great detective. He fights crime. He helps Batman out a ton. The Robin in the cartoons is the best non-comic book version of Robin, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Was this the one you were thinking about, Smitty?
Yeah, I don't even think it's close. When you think sidekick,
yes,
you think Robin.
I'd agree
with that. It's just the way it is.
I agree with that, yes.
I think Batman is just such a badass. His what do you call it? Uniform, outfit? What would you call that?
Yeah.
Suit.
Suit. His suit's badass, and Robin's not. It's just
in Batman Forever, it became badass though. That movie gets a
Yeah.
lot of shit. I like that movie, and the soundtrack's fucking great.
Which
Seal,
one?
give me it.
Kiss by
Yeah.
Rose.
There's a good
Freeze?
U2 song on that soundtrack too.
Yeah, it's an awesome soundtrack.
It's a good soundtrack. It really is.
It's one of those movies I know is
Hold me,
objectively
kill me,
really
kiss me,
bad, but
hold
I
me.
also objectively will never not love it. But
The one with Mr. Freeze, you're saying, right?
that one's just bad.
oh, now
that
That was
one's just bad,
Schwarzenegger,
bad.
right?
Oh, you're talking about the
No,
one I
Batman
said.
Forever with
Yeah,
Chris
with Jim,
O'Donnell.
with Jim Carrey and
Yes,
Tommy Lee Jones.
yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's the Mask.
It's a good.
Chris O'Donnell was in both.
Not the Mask. What?
Yeah, he was in both.
The Riddler.
Yes,
The
thank
Riddler.
you.
The Mask. The Riddler.
Yeah, but even like Chris O'Donnell, like to me, like he fits Robin because it's like, like
But
I feel like I
it's-
could beat up Chris O'Donnell.
Probably could.
Did you?
That's
He's
what I
sidekick.
mean. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. That like judo karate shit he was doing in those clubs in Batman Forever. Was like
Then
pretty-
was Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Was he in
another guy I could
Rises
probably
or was
beat
he
up.
in The Dark Knight?
no, Dark Knight Rises.
Knight
he's
Rises.
like
And
he's not
he
technically
played a-
Robin in it though.
He's
He
supposed.
kind of
becomes
is.
Robin at the very end of it, and
So they ball tickled us in a trilogy that ended.
I
don't understand
I was about
why
to
that
ask
ever
that
happened.
because they left it open like Joseph Gordon-Levitt was going to be the Joker or not the Joker, Robin in
Yes.
like a future movie.
And then
they haven't
Nolan
done it
ended
yet.
the series, and it was just like gone. I don't know. Robin's got an
Yeah.
identity crisis in a real life movie.
You know
That's
what?
my
He
problem
kind of
with
does have it. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And I do think there's something to my point of him being a dink that Chris O'Donnell and Josh Gordon-Levitt, two guys
Joseph.
Joseph.
Gordon-Levitt, two guys that I think I could beat up or cast as
I
Robin.
actually do think you could beat up Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
He's a fucking dink.
Right.
Great
He's a
actor.
dink.
And I'm not saying
I
like
don't think
I'm
he is a
not
great
tough.
actor.
I
What?
just think I could beat them up.
There's a couple scenes that just bother me that he does. He's
Yeah.
got one of those
Klemmer.
faces I just
He's
hate.
a great actor.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a very good actor. I also have a problem saying you could beat him up. Man, I gotta remember Robin was a circus, a trapeze artist. He was great. He could jump around,
That's
do all these
true.
crazy things.
That's true.
Batman taught
I
him.
think I
That's-
could probably beat up a guy that does Cirque du Soleil shit.
I don't
think
know.
I
man.
probably
Like,
could.
Not. He
That
would-
balance
he would-
and that
They're-
quickness and that core strength. I don't know, man.
Get them on the floor. Get them on the floor. And I
Their
think they're
cardio,
over.
your
Chief,
face would be in
Chief,
the mud.
just
Yeah.
endurance speaking. They would just
I'm
tire
not
you
gonna.
out.
I'm not gonna run them around. I'm gonna make
they'll
them
run you around.
get on the floor and let's have a fight. Let's square up, hockey style. I think I could do well.
Batman trained Robin. Who the fuck are you to say you could beat someone up who Batman
That's a
trained? That's
disciple of Batman.
I'm just saying. I think
That's
I could beat
pretty
him.
good.
I think I could beat up.
No,
both.
I-
I'm not saying the fictionalized Robin, but I think the fact that the two real life actors that were cast as Robin, I could beat them both up, and I think that kind of plays to my point that they want him to be. They didn't cast Schwarzenegger as Robin. Is my point. Like
that would be weird.
right. So it's like I don't know, but yeah, for this draft, perfect. He is a sidekick. Just I didn't have him on my board because fuck.
He's not a sidekick.
I
He's
left him off
He's
my
the
board
sidekick.
because he's the sidekick, and I assumed I wasn't going to even be able to draft him because he's such a chalk 1-1 pick for annoying reasons.
Honestly, stunned that you don't like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I might.
There's a
I don't
scene
really like him
in Inception where it's some of the worst acting of it. I'll talk to you about it later.
Have you seen Don John?
Oh,
I
come
don't think
on.
I have.
Dude, 500 Days of Summer. and
That's a great
50
movie. That's a
Just
great
watch
movie.
those two, and you can't not love. Joseph
Okay,
Gordon-Levitt.
hold on. Is that a zombie movie or am I thinking of something
No,
else?
It's like a breakup
Yeah,
movie.
something
Well, I was completely off.
You're thinking of like 12 days later.
Okay.
20 days later, excuse me.
Dave, Angels in the Outfield.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
True.
I
10
haven't
Things I
seen
Hate
it.
About You.
I love 10 Things.
Third
I Hate
Rock
About
from the
You.
Sun, great show.
Yeah, this guy.
Never
I think
watched
he's
it.
I
wildly
forgot he was in
underrated.
that.
I love that. I love a lot of movies he's in. I just don't particularly think he's a great actor.
Almost
He's a good actor. He's a very good
he's
actor.
fine.
Great.
He's fine.
great.
Yeah,
He's a sidekick actor.
He's a good actor.
Yeah. Well, Dave thinks Denzel Washington's a sidekick actor.
No, I don't. I say he's the same guy in every movie.
Watch Don John.
That's not even close to true. There's nothing true about that. He played Malcolm X and he played Reuben Carter.
Do we have to
There's
do this?
It's not the same person.
I'm not
Now,
talking
listen.
about their characters. I understand the characters and the plots are very different. If you
The
watch
way
how
that he acts them.
acts in each character is very similar to each role to role.
You watch Glory and then watch.
I've seen he's
Training Day. Tell
all
me it's
his
the same-
movies,
Hey,
his
hey, hey,
mannerisms,
hey, hey, hey.
his speech patterns are all very similar role to role.
Listen,
yes.
I'm in for poker jokes. I'm in for spaghetti sauce ears. I'm not in for another Denzel Washington debate. So let's cut it there. And on that note, Smitty, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I think it might be a drop off compared to Pippen and Robin as far as sidekicks, but I love this one. I'll take him in the first round, and we're going Goose from Top Gun. Goose just cool. He's a family man. He obviously makes Tom Cruise better, but he knows his role. He's a definition of a great partner. Sidekick, first round, Goose.
So a little hack in this draft. Sidekicks, if when you Google them to like spin your hamster wheel to refresh your memory on different sidekicks, if you Googled best wingmen in movie, TV, whatever history, that was much better list. This is such a good pick, and it's such a easy first rounder that his character, like the term wingman, became synonymous with just going out with your boys.
That's true. It's a good
You know,
point.
That's true. If this was best wingman, he'd be 1-1.
I mean, sidekick and wingman are synonyms. That's what I'm saying. Like it could have absolutely gone 1-1, I think.
Goose, bad pilot, but great with the ladies. He married Meg Ryan. So I give Goose, Goose not the greatest pilot. I mean, we saw that. It doesn't end well for him.
You don't think that's Maverick's fault, not Goose's fault? Goose took one for Maverick. That's the side.
He got court-martialed, and they didn't. They didn't find him innocent.
They found him innocent.
They found him innocent.
I have a hard time.
How dare you call Goose a bad pilot?
That's fucked up, Klemmer.
It's really fucked up.
Was Goose even a pilot? He was a rear. He was in the rear.
He was a wingman. No, he was a pilot. Yeah, absolutely.
When he was like, "I'll be your wingman, you be mine," he was talking to
different
ice.
planes.
He's talking to ice.
If anything, blame the military-industrial complex for a shoddy ejection seat, which fucking killed him.
Now
Don't
you're
blame
talking.
us.
Now you're talking.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that, Smitty. That's fair.
So I watched Top Gun probably like a year before Maverick came out. I had never seen it. And I was like, I got to watch this before Maverick comes out. But obviously, if you're on the internet, Goose dies. So I've always seen Goose dies. I'm like, man, fighter pilot movie, like it's probably like a big action scene and he dies like in the line of duty. When I saw how he died, I was stunned. I was like, that's it?
Got
like
caught in the wash.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Couldn't get out of that spin.
I could not believe that was how Goose went.
Well, saying a little better pilot, he said, "Oh, it's fine. It is." Like I said, you got to give him credit for being with Meg Ryan, so it's a push for me.
He was always like his conscience in a way too. Like, I don't think we should buzz this tower. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't leave your wingman. Like, he was always like the angel on his shoulder, so to speak. So I thought that was good.
White Sox, Dave.
I'm going with Stevie Janowski.
I knew you were going to pick that.
I had to. He's my all-time favorite sidekick. I know he's not the most popular sidekick, most well-known sidekick. He's my favorite. I had to pick him. He's a perfect sidekick. He's loyal. He follows orders. He'll take a bullet for you. He'll take a DUI for you. He will do anything for you. Perfect sidekick.
I just need to watch this movie because I know our relationship will get like 3% better.
Who is this?
Oh, from
Eastbound
and Down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
That's great. I love
I mean,
Stevie
he
Janowski.
exudes the word sidekick. He exudes the word sidekick.
My favorite is when season 2 opens and he's on his path to find him, and he finally meets up with Kenny Powers somewhere down in Mexico. And he's like, I noticed when all my credit cards were being used on the way down that you were just leaving me little breadcrumbs to come find you. It was like credit card fraud. He stole all the shit.
But he doesn't know.
That's just a trail of breadcrumbs.
Yep. That's how much he knows that him and Kenny Powers are like spirit animals.
Right.
Is he a sidekick though?
Oh, 1,000%.
Okay, all right.
He is
I meant to say off the top
definition.
2. I meant to say off the top 2. We should make sure we all agree if it's a sidekick.
Yeah, well, that's what the veto process is.
Honestly,
for. This is the number one sidekick.
If you like define the word sidekick, I'm sure it's on Urban Dictionary or whatever. Everything that is said in that definition applies to Stevie Janowski.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's in the regular dictionary too, Dave.
But the Urban Dictionary one will give a more appropriate definition for our use right now.
Okay.
Do you go to Urban Dictionary more than you visit an actual dictionary, Dave?
Probably. I'm sure you do too.
I think I do.
Yeah,
absolutely. Chief, you're up.
All right, I'll go. I'm taking Dwight Schrute. So he's like the more mainstream version of Stevie Janowski, but he is Michael Scott. Like, he worships Michael Scott the same way that Stevie Janowski worships Kenny Powers. So hilarious character, all-time character. Really kind of made the show go in a lot of ways, in my opinion. So I'm happy to have Dwight Schrute 5th overall.
Kind of a one-sided sidekick, though. 'Cause
Same as
Michael
Stevie.
doesn't love him as much as he loves Michael. You know, like he's almost like a Helga Pataki.
No, but like Michael needs him too. Like Michael, you know, and it's like Michael's always like, all right, Dwight, let's go. Like, you know, when Michael's closing on his condo, he brings Dwight.
And I guess he does know that that's his one source of like if he needs someone on his side, he does have Dwight.
Yeah.
So I'm wrong.
Does he take a
Loyalty
DUI for him?
above all. Loyalty
He took
above
it-
all.
he gave him clean urine.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so
I got to get into that show. I'm just going to start it like tonight or something.
I mean, it's just hop right in.
Yeah.
You've never seen
coming
The
up
Office?
on the 20th
I mean,
anniversary
I've
of
seen-
the show. So
Enough of it. I know who the character. Obviously, it's so popular you can't avoid it.
We've
but
never done an office draft either. And Danny always begs me for it. He's like, "You got to do it."
we should.
I think you'd like it a lot, Dave. It's
I
very
know.
good. Very
Everything
funny.
I've seen, I would love. I just have
Yeah.
never sat down and watched it. You know,
I did it a couple years ago. I didn't finish like the last season, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It gets bad, man. Steve Carell leaves that show.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah,
I actually saw the final episode when it was live, so I know what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when he did leave, I saw that
Oh.
episode live.
I thought the finale was actually very well done, where they brought
Me too.
Michael back.
Also too.
Yeah. So the real finale was good.
Yeah, I got to finish at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Solid pick. People love Dwight.
Yeah.
Chief.
Not the biggest Star Wars guy, because I feel like you have to watch all the HBO Max version or whatever it's even on Disney Plus. Like I haven't seen like the Baby Yoda thing.
I just started. It's awesome.
But I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
it's great.
I love the originals from the 70s and early 80s, so I'm taking Chewbacca as a sidekick for Han Solo in second round.
Can you do the noise?
Oh, Klemmer shaking his head.
Why Klemmer?
That was my next pick. I'm
Oh,
mad.
I thought he was
Oh
going to.
no, Klemmer! It was going to be your next pick, but it was going to be my next pick, so it wouldn't have gotten to you.
All right, it makes me feel a little better. I mean, it's a great pick. Chewbacca's the ultimate. I love Chewbacca so much. He's such a great character. I care about Chewbacca even more than Han Solo. Like, he's such a great, loyal. I mean, I know he's supposed to be kind of like a dog. I get all that element of it, but Chewbacca's awesome. Plus, Chewbacca's badass.
Yeah,
he's
he is.
He's strong. He'll fight you. Chewbacca's awesome.
I was going to say, do the noise.
I don't know if I can do it.
I can't. That was
I
a
bet
bad
you,
one.
Clemmer, can you do
Klemmer
that
can
Chewy
do it.
noise?
No, I can't. That's,
Okay.
I tried for like years to try to get it, and
That was like a turkey.
Yeah, it was like a gobble.
I told you I
Yeah,
couldn't.
yeah.
Sounds like a ferret dying. Chewie, honestly, with the popularity of Star Wars, you can make an argument for him going 1-1. Like, you just
Probably,
can.
yeah.
And also, very funny, if you go back and watch old clips of when they're making Star Wars, and the actor playing Chewie, he was like 7 feet tall.
Peter Mayhew.
He would just speak normally while they were filming,
Oh,
and they would
that's gotta
go
be
and
a mind fuck.
add the growls later.
Yeah.
So it's just him talking. It's very funny.
That is funny. Yeah, not a Star Wars guy, but I could appreciate Chewbacca.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
Dave.
I am going to go Jesse Pinkman next.
Ah,
Oh, I
Good
didn't even
one.
think about that one.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
he slid by me too, but that is a good
Oh,
one.
that's a great pick, Dave.
It's
Yeah.
my all-time favorite TV show, and he's literally the sidekick of Walter White.
Bad guy.
Good heart that was like corrupted.
Misguided.
Misguided. Which is
Still a
unfortunate
bad
because
guy, saw him
his
dope.
parents were fucking good people and everything, and like had their heads.
He
on
lost his
shit.
way.
He lost his way.
He did shoot someone in cold blood. Like, he is not a good guy. Like, he shot someone in their face like when they opened the door.
Nah,
He was
this
fucked.
guy-
He
Guided,
was a
according to
sidekick
Chief.
in the Empire business. What do you
Yeah.
want?
No, no argument. He's a great sidekick, but
Yeah.
he's probably not a good person.
No, he's not.
I mean, Moses killed somebody. He's considered a good person.
There was
Yeah.
God
Checkmate.
knocked
Got
up.
him.
I mean, Chief, you'll like this one. God knocked up the Virgin Mary when she was a preteen. So I guess
I
everyone's
don't
good.
like that one. For the record, don't like it. Not on board with that.
You'll like this one.
I want to distance myself from that claim. Thank you.
Look it up. Look it up. I don't think it's a claim.
I'm not doubting. I'm the claim that I would like it. I'm
Yes,
pushing back
exactly.
on that. Yeah.
Jesse Pinkman, great show, but I don't know if
He's definitely a sidekick.
Yeah, no, he is. But do you love Jesse Pinkman?
He's an anti-hero kind of. Yeah, I had love for him. Like, and when Walter White was kind of fucking horrible to him. Killed his girlfriend.
Awful.
And he
did. I forget he had
die.
He
I
did.
could have. Yeah, he was.
He did have a big redemption arc at the end.
Totally.
You did feel
Definitely.
bad for him because he was being tortured and shit. So.
And how many times he tried to like actually get out before getting pulled back in?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
And his movie spinoff is excellent too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I shouldn't say excellent. It was as good as a spinoff typically can be.
Still haven't fucking watched it.
It's only like an hour and a half long. Just watch it tonight.
Yeah, watch it, Eddie. It's enjoyable. It's fun.
it's
It's not. It doesn't make you hate the show or anything.
No, yeah, it's good.
I got to do it. Smitty.
I was upset about getting Chewy, but I'm not upset about this. Let's go, Luigi to Mario.
I was down to those two.
Easily could have been a first-round selection. Luigi, he's almost the main character. Well, he's a sidekick.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, so I don't know how they portray him in that. But in the video game, green was my favorite, still is my favorite color. I would always be Luigi. So he wasn't my sidekick. He was my number one. So, but you play
Super Smash Brothers. People choose Luigi. I mean, you can very easily put him in there. Luigi's Mansion. He's got his own game. But when it comes down to it, who are you choosing? Mario.
No,
or Luigi?
Mario's the main character for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's Super Mario World. Luigi's a great sidekick. I give Luigi a lot of credit for mental fortitude. These guys were plumbers. They were regular plumbers in New York. Next thing they know, there's this crazy world. That must be very scary. And then Luigi has his own mansion. Like, he made the best of it. So I give Luigi a ton of credit.
Yeah, he handled the sidekick title a lot better than Scottie Pippen did.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. He embraced the sidekick life.
It must be hard being brothers too. Like, to take that second role like that. Like, Luigi deserves a lot of credit.
Have they established they're not twins, right? He's just younger.
No,
he's younger.
I think they're just brothers.
Yeah.
Mario's older.
I don't even know. He would have to be the younger brother, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think
You can't get cucked by a younger brother like that.
I mean, Michael Corleone.
True.
I mean, you call Mario Fredo? What's the matter with you? That's discrimination against
That's anti-Italian discrimination.
No. You said that the younger brother can't cuck the older brother. I gave an example where that's not true.
I guess I stand corrected. This, according to Wikipedia, being the younger twin of Mario, Luigi is presumed to be also 24 years old. So
they're
24. That's a rough 24.
Yeah. I would guess they're like 40.
That's manual labor for you. 6 years in the workforce.
That's an early 80s plumbing 24.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, Luigi. I mean, good value there at 8. I feel very good value. Luigi could have been easy first rounder.
Mm-hmm.
Klemmer.
I'm going to go with a favorite movie of mine, also a great SNL sketch, Wayne's World, Garth.
Yep.
From Wayne's World. Garth, Dana Carvey's portrayal of Garth made me laugh all the time. There's a great scene in Wayne's World when Wayne leaves the studio and Garth's by himself on camera and like his brain like self-destructs. It's great. Garth always makes me laugh. Dana Carvey's fantastic. I love Garth. Garth is the sidekick of the 90s.
It's on my list. Good pick.
Yeah, for sure.
Very funny character. Very good movie series. I love it.
It's the only time I actually like Dana Carvey, so that says a lot about his character in that movie.
Fuck you, Dave.
I didn't like Dana Carvey stunk.
Was legitimately like one of the funniest people of his era.
Stunk.
Just the same master of none like ruined his career.
That's honestly, I base a lot of my hatred off that movie.
Oh, that's not. No,
I know it's not completely fair, but I do. That is also just how it is. I do base a lot of my hatred off him based on that movie.
That's like judging Phil Hartman because he was in Small Soldiers. Like, Phil Hartman's the best SNL guy ever.
Small
Dana
Soldiers
Carvey's
is awesome.
amazing on SNL.
What?
I don't know if I've ever seen Small Soldiers.
Oh,
Small Soldiers. It was
awesome.
It was a shitty movie.
No, it wasn't. It was awesome. It was so good.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Thank you, Ed.
But in Dave's defense, a little bit, Master of None did kind of like Dana Carvey hasn't been around since.
No,
They kind of killed him.
I think he's.
Turtle.
Yeah.
Weren't they filmed it? I believe the story goes he was filming that turtle scene as 9/11 was happening. So he was like in the suit while everything was going down.
Wait, and
That'll do it.
A turtle suit, and I guess they had like a set meeting to decide whether to keep filming that day, and he was in full turtle gear. And like, I guess we should go home now. We're under attack. but he was dressed as the turtle saying it.
Could you imagine?
That's yeah.
That's bizarre. No, but Garth honestly is a perfect sidekick stoner for that movie.
Yeah.
Like Wayne's got all the jokes. Garth just chills. He just sits and he just
He, like spaces out and like
Yeah.
gets in his own thoughts. Yeah, he's great. He's a great character.
yeah.
Doesn't
Can
need
you-
a,
can you
doesn't
do
need his
your-
own girl. Like Wayne's always getting the girl. He's just like happy to be third
Yeah,
wheel.
yeah.
He's just happy to be there. He's
Yeah.
happy to have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
Happy
Wait-
to be in the car.
And that's like a key part of being a good sidekick.
Yeah.
Just
Just happy to be
appreciation
there.
for being there.
Yeah.
Can you do the Chris Farley impersonation, please?
What, from the parking
Yeah,
lot?
the park. Yeah,
I gotta watch the scene. I gotta like be refreshed. I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah,
I
do it-
forgot what
do
I said.
it.
give it your best
Yeah.
shot. Come on, give it your best shot.
I forgot what over here.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And you
the-
take a left here.
and then you go down there. I forgot how it goes. If you
Your hand motions are perfect when you do it.
yeah, just watch the clip. Back to me.
For dose.
Wait, no.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
back to me.
what's his pick?
What did Clemmer pick?
Garth.
picked
Oh,
Garth.
I'm
dummy.
sorry. I'm my bad.
Bad brain day.
Yeah.
10th pick. I'm gonna go back to the '90s as well. An awesome sidekick. I believe he was introduced in The Spy Who Shagged Me. I'm taking Mini Me.
Ah, great one.
Oh man, it wasn't on my list. Fucking awesome
I
pick,
had it.
Ed.
I was hoping to get it next round.
God damn it.
Legendary. What like the way that they were able to follow that movie up
Yeah.
and just introduce fucking Vern Troyer as Mini Dr. Evil.
Let's get a midget in here and have the exact same plot with the exact same jokes.
And the way that they used him was awesome. He would sing, he would kick people in the shins, he would bite. He
Yeah.
was just great.
When
Jump across the table, get his actual son to like try to,
Yeah,
like
when-
that rivalry with Seth Green.
Yeah.
that
Yes.
when he slides the paper across when it's like the picture of him stabbing him or whatever, and he's like, oh. And he just slowly slides it across, and there's that pause, and he just
Yeah. He's a great character. I haven't
their
seen those
relationship in
movies
that
in
movie's
so
perfect.
long, but I kind of want to do like a rewatch.
They're great.
The first two are great.
They don't
Seth
get
Green
enough.
on,
They don't get enough traditional
Cheers,
law.
man.
Like they don't.
Yeah.
They
I
should.
think they get great
Nah,
90s
they're
love.
not on TV as much as like the Adam Sandler movies from the 90s.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
So I don't know what it is, but those are great. They're so quotable too.
Mini
I've
Me.
heard he's just a mega cunt in real life, though.
Mike
I-
Myers, I've
I
heard,
heard
that.
Yeah,
that.
him
What do you say,
and
Klemmer?
Dana Carvey fought during Wayne's World 2, and they had a horrible relationship for like decades after. They've only patched things up in the last few years. Mike Myers is very difficult to work with.
Yeah. See, sometimes I wonder though, because then I read a story where he's difficult to work with, but because he like really believes in what he's trying to do, like they wanted to change the song in Wayne's World, and he was like, no, like this is it. Bohemian Rhapsody's it.
Yeah.
You know, like we're doing this, and he was right.
And,
You know?
It's a great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Best
legendary
scene.
scene.
Legendary scene. Yeah.
So like that's like the other side I've heard of that.
Yeah,
But I don't know. You never know what to really.
you can be
Probably
right.
a little bit of both.
Yeah, and
I bet.
also
Yeah.
be a cunt. He hasn't had a movie or anything in forever, I feel like.
He's on some TV show. In
He's
Canada,
walked
right?
away. He doesn't do too, and he's always in like costume. Like he doesn't. You don't usually see Mike Myers be Mike Myers or be a regular human being. He's always like this weird character.
Yeah. Shrek 5's coming out, so he's a
He's got
obviously-
enough money from Shrek to not
Oh,
show
he's-
his face
he's
ever
probably
again.
the
Yeah.
And
fucking-
Austin Powers. He produced those movies. He's very rich.
I bet you he's got a
shit.
half bill in the bank. Maybe.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing.
I
He's
wouldn't
doing
be
fine.
surprised if it's a half bill based on those movies alone.
Third round. I'm gonna go with. Chief's gonna be pissed about this probably, but I'm gonna go short round.
Oh.
Out of the blue, I guess.
Oh.
Wait, who?
Short round from Temple of Doom.
Oh.
I think one of the cardinal flaws with the Indiana Jones movies is they don't bring this guy back. He was easily the best sidekick in my opinion.
I don't think he was the best sidekick.
Really?
I don't. I have a different one on my list. I
Huh.
might take him. I might not.
No, I
But
thought Shorty was great.
He was great.
And like I'm a little biased because I loved him from Goonies, so it's like, and I watched Goonies first, and I watched
Yeah.
that series recently, somewhat. But I obviously knew he was in it with the Yankees hat and whatever. But short round's great.
Yeah, he's a very good sidekick, and another I think a mark of a sidekick, of a good sidekick, is they don't need to be rescued necessarily. Where in like short round he fought the guy.
Dr. Jones.
Yeah, so he's a good one. He's a good one for sure. Not my favorite from the Indiana Jones series of sidekicks, but I'm surprised that you took it.
I can't pronounce what's his name, Klemmer?
It's Key Kwan. I'm
He
forgetting the
just
last
won
name.
an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
He just won an Oscar. Yeah,
Everything,
Oscar,
everywhere, all at
craziest
once.
career you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's great.
That was a
and
great-
Eddie's right. Like they probably should have brought him back for Dial of Destiny since he's back in the mix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been better if he was in. I can't picture him in The Last Crusade, but having him in Dial of Destiny would have been nice.
Oh yeah.
Made no sense. They absolutely should have brought him back for the final hurrah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
sure,
I wonder. Now I got Klemmer here. You're an Indiana Jones guy, right, Klemmer?
I like him. I don't love him, but yeah, I mean, I grew up with the movies. Sure.
Okay. What about bringing that back, but with Josh Hartnett as Indiana Jones, and treat it as if it's James Bond?
I hate reboots as just by my nature. Like, just make something original, make something new. Like the original movies are still hold up really well today. You can watch them. I think kids would still be entertained by them. Like they're really good movies. Let them exist and make something new. Josh
you
Hartnett's
get
a really
the
good
right-
actor. It's nothing against him. I just don't like
But
him.
you don't think
first of all-
Indiana
first of all-
Jones can be like a James Bond, where it's just like you swap out the actor and make
If it's written well and
Yeah,
has its own universe,
right.
I think it can. But Josh Hartnett's not the play.
Oh,
Chris
did you
Pratt.
see Oppenheimer?
Oh, Smitty.
What did he
stop.
say?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt would be the Indiana Jones.
No,
I don't
Smitty.
think so. I don't think Chris Pratt can be like the.
Overexposed to the fucking moon, Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't.
I
he
don't,
doesn't
I
need
don't
to do
disagree,
fucking
but I think
everything.
I think he has that comedy action angle that would be perfect for Indiana Jones. Also, you go back, Tom Selleck
That's
Yeah.
right.
probably might have been the better Indiana Jones.
I don't know
Well,
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Magnum
Harrison
PI.
Ford.
Yeah,
I-
he was perfect.
He was.
I
I don't know.
awesome.
Watch Tom Selleck's screen test with what was her name? Allen.
Oh, Karen Allen.
Karen Allen. You look at that and you know why they wanted Tom Selleck for Indiana Jones.
I think Tom Selleck would have been a good Indiana Jones, but I think Harrison Ford
He would
was
be-
fucking awesome.
I might have overstepped saying that he'd be better than Harrison
Okay,
Ford. Harrison
all right.
Ford was great, but Tom Selleck would have been a great Indiana Jones
I-
based
Can
on
you
that
imagine?
test alone.
Imagine if CBS hadn't blocked that and let him be in, like his whole career would be different. Like
Yeah.
his whole how we view Harrison Ford would be different.
It's
So many
butterfly
things
effect
would be-
shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I also think Temple of Doom is the second best movie. So,
yeah.
Oh.
I don't think that. I don't think
which
that.
I know is,
Yeah.
is a hot take, but like I said, I watched them all before Dial of Destiny,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I like it second best. I think it's underrated.
I think I
What do you
like.
like the
I like
best?
all three, but I would rank that third.
Yeah. What'd you say, Klemmer?
What do you like the best then, Eddie?
I would say Last Crusade.
Me too.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, that's fine. I
Wait a second,
agree.
you like Temple? You like both of those over Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I do. Yeah. I know
crazy.
that. I know that's a hot
I have like
take.
one and three are like tied in my brain.
Really?
Like, I can't like depending on the day, I'll go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Klemmer, you're up.
Excuse me. I hopefully this won't get vetoed. I think it's valid, but I do always want to put that out there. My next pick is my favorite television show ever, Sopranos. Paulie Walnuts.
I definitely had on my list.
Yeah, I had two different Sopranos sidekicks listed, but Paulie Walnuts is great.
I have a hard time with that one
Why?
because I don't think there's a true sidekick in that movie because Tony is clearly the head honcho. I don't think
That's
So
the
I
case
think-
for every sidekick. There's a clear cut leader and then his little underlings.
but there's a million underlings, Dave. That's the
Let me
point.
know
I,
you say
I
that.
think
one.
with Sopranos there's two, or
There's
I think
two.
there's.
And then I would argue that Silvio
Three.
is the next guy.
All right, so I had Silvio. I would
Yeah.
have taken Silvio first.
Like to me, Paul.
Here's why I'm taking Paulie Walnuts. So Paulie idolizes Tony. He has the painting, right, of Tony in his house. Also how the series ends. Now, obviously, there's plenty of death. I don't want to spoil anything, but the last scene we see of Tony, and it's Tony and Paulie in front of the set trailers. Like that to me says that Paulie really is the sidekick. I think that's what David Chase was trying to let us
I think
know.
that's a good argument.
I disagree heavy. I think when he was in the hospital, Sil took over,
Yeah,
and I think it's
That's
very
a good
clear
argument,
that
too.
Sil would be.
But Sil couldn't handle it though.
Sil might have
like,
been next in line in like the patriarchy or whatever you want to call it.
Hierarchy.
Or hierarchy.
But that's the
but
point,
that
though.
doesn't
Your
mean
sidekick, when there's a decision, you got to go to your guy, and you got to make it like you got to.
I think either one of those would have been acceptable.
I think
and I
think
think you're
Paulie's
taking
just
into
a part of the crew.
I mean, you could take Silvio later if you wanted.
No, I'm not.
Silvio's on my. I
Yeah,
still might take him
but-
later.
Smitty, any thoughts?
I think it's acceptable.
I think it's the first
Let's
like
do it. I get where you're coming from, Eddie. I just think I look at the sidekick, and this is very it might be very convoluted, but a supporting character in a show is also a sidekick in my mind.
Yeah, like if anything,
that
I'd say the duo is him and Christopher. Like, I mean,
that was a question I had. What if there's like multiple sidekicks that kind of like are the same package?
Like Entourage.
Yeah, that's an example. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes.
I mean, it's
You said free for all, Eddie. You said in the text.
Yeah.
I know, but I said free for all where you could take anything, fictional, non-fictional, sports, real life, whatever.
So here's my argument with Christopher. Christopher does not want to be a sidekick. Now, does that make him less of a sidekick? I don't know. That's a different argument. But Christopher does not. He kept resisting Tony at every twist and turn. Where Paulie seemed pretty content to be a sidekick.
Yeah.
So that's why I went through all three guys in my head all the show so much I felt I had to pick one of them. That's why I went with Paulie. But I do understand the concerns. But I feel pretty comfortable taking Paulie here.
Yeah, but I think your point about Christopher is more just being the young guy and seeing the potential future ahead. And Paulie's older. He's like, hey, this is what I am now. I'm never going to be the guy. But regardless, it goes through. I don't agree with it, but it goes through.
Okay.
Smitty.
Well, if that one went through, I think we have some precedents because George Costanza, first round sidekick.
See,
I don't know that. I think he's way less of a sidekick.
yes, I don't. He was at, like first on every list I saw, and I was like, I don't have him on my board.
I don't either. To me, he doesn't. That series is like they're just four equals in my brain.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think. Okay, they're four equals under the name of the show, which was I forget. What was the name of the show?
Yeah, Seinfeld, obviously. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I don't think that makes him a true.
I'll disagree. The later seasons, which were objectively worse in my mind than seasons like 1 through 5 and 6.
Oh, I disagree.
George Costanza, he had his own storylines and stuff. But when you look at like the meat and potatoes of George Costanza, he's nothing without Jerry. And when he's unemployed,
he's nothing without anybody. He's a loser. That's the whole purpose of him.
Yeah, but Jerry's right there with him. Jerry brings him along. Like when he's there unemployed or going through the trouble, he's sitting there crisscross applesauce going at it with Jerry. He runs everything by Jerry. Like him and Jerry are 1-2.
They're like more in with each other.
A sidekick typically helps the lead guy. I don't know how much help.
Yeah, he just makes everything worse.
Wait a second.
Other than
menage a trois by accident. He came up with the menage a trois. How is that not helping Jerry out?
Which he didn't go through with because then he'd have to be a shag carpet guy and get lotions and all that. But if he was a really, really good sidekick, he would have known that about Jerry and be like, look, you can't propose the swap. You can't propose the menage.
It's okay for the last two picks with both Paulie and Costanza. I won't veto because you can make the argument. I do think they're kind of picks as much as I love both of their characters.
If the show is named New York Friends or some shit, maybe not. The show is Seinfeld. Costanza is 1A to Seinfeld's 1.
See, I think a better like Newman to Kramer would be a better example in that show.
Maybe, but the best character for sidekick from that show, George Costanza.
I can't weigh in, so
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to veto, but I don't think
it's
it's in the spirit. I don't think he's a sidekick. I guess
it's like gray area.
Yeah. Put it this way. If Klemmer didn't put out Paulie Walnuts, I'm not putting out Costanza.
That's bullshit. You're a liar. You are a liar. You said before we taped you were going to take George, and I said there's gray area here, and I don't know which way to go. But don't throw me under your bus, motherfucker. You're a fucking liar.
Well, Klemmer, any thoughts?
I wasn't going to take him from that conversation, but you took Paulie Walnuts.
Fuck you. You were going to take it. I know you were. You take a 30.
I mean, if this doesn't apply, guys, don't be afraid to veto it.
I don't think it's veto. It's not egregious enough, but
that's the thing. That's where I am too. I'm not going to veto it. I'd like to veto Smitty off the show.
I wish Smitty had more.
I can't veto this pick.
I'd like to veto myself too.
I wish Smitty had more like honor and intestinal fortitude to just be like,
he has none of that. Zero
I'm going
gumption.
to do the right thing. I know in my heart of hearts he's not really a sidekick.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll veto it. I'll veto my own pick.
That's a successful bully right there. Smitty's pulling George off the board.
Throw integrity in my face. I'll veto it. And we'll go one of my favorite characters of all time. All time. Any movie, anything, any real life. Walter Sobchak. Big Lebowski.
Okay.
Oh, John Goodman, right?
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Goodman.
That's a good pick.
Good
Walter
pick.
Soga.
He's definitely a
The-
sidekick.
An amazing sidekick who wants to help out the dude any way possible, but also a character of his own that could easily have been a spinoff.
And very well acted, too.
Yeah.
Great performance.
Yep.
Oh, it's great.
Great movie.
Dude, the over the line scene, I mean, it's just perfect.
Yep.
I got to
It's
rewatch
just-
this.
Oh, I
I
rewatched
have
it
never
probably
seen
within
it.
the last year.
Yeah.
And it's a great movie.
I watched it for a class
the-
in college.
Just the way he says, so sorry, Luke. Sorry, Smokey. It's a league game. This is a nom. There are rules. So,
Great look, though.
at the end,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
league game.
Yeah.
Great
He looks fucking great right now.
great
He's lost
costume
200
design.
pounds. Fuck.
I didn't know that.
No.
Yeah.
Good for him.
White Sox, Dave.
I'm gonna go with Sloth from the Goonies. When you said Goonies earlier, I was fucking so scared that you were gonna take it. Sloth from the Goonies. Love Sloth. Talk to me about Sloth, Smitty.
Sloth, good guy. Makes it happen. He gets free room and board at the end. Up on the surface.
It's
It all
honestly,
works out for all.
it's honestly maybe the most heartwarming part of the movie.
I
Like,
love it.
Sloth was
Oh,
chained
it's-
up.
yeah.
He was tortured. Then he goes from that to being Chunk's sidekick. So, in a roundabout way, I didn't think about it because he becomes it later, and he's not a sidekick for a large
He
portion of the
evolves
movie.
into the sidekick.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he certainly is Chunk's sidekick. So, good pick. I'm pissed
Great
I didn't
man.
think of it.
Sloth
great
is a
fucking
great
human.
man. He's tortured. He's all these horrible things happen to him. He's so selfless and kind, even though he's been treated so poorly. And you know what? He owns a stake of that treasure. So now he's rich. I
Good.
like to see.
That's
I like
true.
to see a movie about rich Sloth. I love Sloth. Oh, like he is the heartbeat of that movie. I love him so much. Great man.
It's kind of a shame that, I mean, Goonies 2 has been rumored for decades.
See, they can't do it.
Yeah, but it's kind of a shame that the 90s never gave us a Sloth spinoff. I think that plays
Yeah.
to see how he adapts in
The
the real
actor
world.
died.
Oh, did he?
Fuck. Okay.
Damn.
Damn. Didn't know that.
That's too bad.
It
that
was
wasn't,
John
like-
Matusak.
Yeah, he played in the NFL, I believe, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
6'8", 285-pound defensive lineman. Wow, look at that 9-year career.
Damn.
Yeah, but obviously with the costume and
Better
stuff,
than Will Compton.
they could recast that pretty easily.
That was a fucking
probably
ricochet
could.
shot.
I'm kind of glad Goody stands alone.
I don't think anybody heard
Yeah.
that.
What did he say?
I go, he had a 9-year career, and Chief goes under his breast. That's better than Will Compton.
That's
Oh,
bullshit.
equal.
Yeah, depends on how you add it up.
He wasn't Sloth in the Goonies though.
Yeah, that's true.
Good pick. Chief.
All right, I'll take a guy from Game of Thrones who was such a great sidekick that they made him a sidekick to many different characters as the show went along. I'm taking Bronn. So he started off as Tyrion's, then he was Jaime's. I feel
God
like,
damn it.
yeah, I love.
Nice. Brand the Broken.
No, Braun the Blackwater.
No, I think
he's
Yeah, he's trying to slander
Bronn,
my pick.
yeah.
He's trying to slander my pick. I knew that would be coming from Ed at some point. But I think Bronn's a great comedic character.
Hilarious.
He steps up. He does whatever his ass. He's a bit of a mercenary, which I like. But he's always a good sidekick.
Does that go against him being a sidekick though? Because he just does it for the gold. He doesn't do it for the love of being a sidekick.
No, but he always says it's about the money, and then he does the right
You're
thing.
right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're
So,
right. Fuck.
God
God damn it! This wasn't on my list.
Yeah, so I love that character. I love Bronn.
one of the best characters in that show, yeah.
He's a great sidekick.
That's a fucking great pick for the third round. I think. He's like Chief said, he's everybody's sidekick.
Yeah. And
I hate Game of Thrones, so
the whole thing.
Fucking crazy.
yeah, I don't like fantasy. I try. It's
Okay.
very well made. I respect this show. It's just not for me.
Yeah,
I just
that's fine. I always felt that way about the fantasy genre until Game of Thrones.
That's same.
Yeah.
He's good. Weirdly enough, I flipped it on yesterday,
Oh.
and I was sitting there with a buddy watching it, and I'm like, dude, I totally forgot about this guy. And
Yeah.
he's like a great character. But
Oh,
I don't know
awesome
why I
character.
forgot.
He's
I
one of-
guess
yeah.
When you think about the Hound, you think about obviously all the Starks.
There's
and
so
you think
many
about the
characters,
Lannisters.
yeah.
There's so many characters. He's great, but I don't know.
He's
slipped
like
my mind
one of
for
the
some
only
reason.
people that's in there the whole time, too. You know, if you go through that list, like he's in, I think he's in every season, right? and always as a sidekick.
No, he gets introduced when Tyrion asks someone to fight for him.
But
When
that's
he's
season 1.
Is that season 1?
Yeah,
I thought that was season 2.
because they're going to throw him down the
Down the
hole
hole, yeah.
because they paralyzed Bran.
Right.
So that's season 1.
All right, you could kick off the 4th
Yeah.
round as well.
That's yeah.
All right. This is a great sidekick. It's an awesome sidekick. It's a little outside the box, but if I say ham, you say cheese. If I say macaroni, you say cheese. I'm taking cheese. I'm taking cheese, cheeseburger. You're taking cheese as a sidekick is a fantastic. It's off the board. You guys aren't thinking that way.
I was trying to think of something like this so hard. And
cheese goes with fucking everything. It's a great, but it's like you want something else with it. Cheese is like the ultimate sidekick.
If it were
You never
socially
have cheese
acceptable,
alone.
It's the side. It's the
Never have
Scotty.
cheese alone.
What?
Well,
you can't.
It's
You
a
can't
Scotty
have cheese
Pippen
in
of
a
food.
food.
What?
like those polio string cheeses. People
Yeah,
eat
like
lots.
Scotty had some good runs on the Blazers and the Rockets, but like
What about pizza?
I-
Cheese is the pizza.
if you take away the cheese, you still have a red pizza. You have the sauce and the dough.
No one eats that. That's not real.
Yeah, but no one just eats a melted cheese
Pepperoni
coming out
is
of a
the
pizza
pick.
oven
Pepperoni is the sidekick. Cheese is the pizza.
in that one particular dish. But most of the time, cheese is playing a complementary role, and I don't think it's the most important. I don't think it's the essence of the pizza either. You need the sauce and the dough. Otherwise, you're just putting cheese and it's melting to your brick oven there.
I don't like this pick.
It's a great pick, Klemmer. Cheese.
Wow.
Cheese to kick off the 4th round.
No one else has a problem with this? Everyone's okay with cheese?
No,
Ham and cheese. Macaroni
if you
and
can
cheese.
sell it, you can sell
I
it.
think the greatest argument is like cheese is beloved, so you could argue that it's no sideshow to anybody.
But it's always
It's
used
always
to-
the star of the show while being a complimentary
It's
piece.
a complimentary, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Which
I get
makes
it.
it like a
qualifies.
weird-
Yeah.
It's
I think it qualifies for sure.
All right. Cheese gives me diarrhea. So.
I would put cheese on
That
cereal.
makes me
can't
feel
have cheese,
bad
I'll
for
get
you.
if I could.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, you got a little lactose problem. You know what, Klemmer?
Oh, a big one.
I got a little lactose problem myself. I don't let it stop me.
that's cheese. The one thing the T5000 body can't handle, Klemmer.
I cannot. There's a lot of things this body can't handle, believe me. Cheese is one of them.
White Sox, Dave.
There's a whole lot of directions I can go. I'm just gonna stick with it though, with what I'm doing because I'm dominating this draft. I'll go Brian Griffin.
Who's he the sidekick of?
Everybody on the show, mainly Stewie. Depends on the episode.
Okay.
No, so you're not dominating this draft by any stretch.
Yeah, you're not.
I absolutely am.
Not
Nice to think that.
Eastbound and Down is not popular enough to draft in the
That's
first
a great
round.
sidekick, though. That is like
Yeah,
It is a great sidekick, but it's
the
just not popular.
embodiment.
People don't know it enough.
Every
Terrible first pick.
our audience, you don't think they know who Stevie Janowski is? Are you kidding me with that
Sometimes
statement?
you look exactly like Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear. That's a great sidekick.
No tipping picks.
I didn't mean it as a. I guess whatever. But like the way your eyebrows go sometimes and the shape of your face.
To say that our audience isn't gonna resonate, like not a lot of people know Stevie Janowski is crazy to me.
I mean, it's not as popular as
It's
yeah.
not Chewbacca.
I
It's
like
not
the
the
pick.
Star Wars
Yeah.
brand, obviously.
But I think to his point where you said I'm dominating this, I don't know. I don't know that you are. But I do love the pick.
If you obviously people are voting based on the graphics, so you know what? Paulie Walnuts and what was the other one we were arguing about? And Costanza. Like they're gonna look good, even though none of us really like
Costanza's
the picks.
off the board. It's crossed off.
Oh, he didn't take that. That's right.
Yeah, bullied him.
Well, I thought his hand was off the chest piece, so
I
had it
don't. I
written
can't
instead.
tell you enough about Brian Griffin. I don't know if you guys could.
I
call
went
in
through a
some
Family Guy
commentary.
phase. He's a good. He's like, but same thing as like George, where I feel like is he really a sidekick? Like he has his own plot lines. He kind of does his own thing. Like he's like the smartest one in the house.
He acts like he's the smartest one in the house. That's
He
like
is
part of
probably
the joke.
smartest
He
one.
is.
Yeah, it's him and Stewie.
But he always fucks everything up.
They all. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. This to me, I'm not going to veto the same way I didn't actually veto Costanza. But this is like, if you had a problem with taking Costanza, you should be ashamed of yourself for taking this pick.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you should.
Veto
You should
yourself.
definitely be ashamed of yourself.
Be a man of honor and veto yourself.
Yeah. That would be the right thing to do because he's not enough of a sidekick.
Fine, I'll veto it.
Okay.
I don't think we should let him. I don't think it's a good enough pick to let him veto it.
I just like
nobody else
agree.
vetoed Smitty's pick, did he?
no. I bullied him into removing it.
But that
So if
yeah,
I
but we were okay with that one because George fucking skews the graphic. I don't think Brian skews the graphic in your favor at all.
he definitely does. It's an
Do,
insanely
are we
popular TV show.
are we convinced that Dave is going to make it to the poll?
I don't know. I don't know who. They're still.
I don't.
It's a big couple rounds. I don't know. I'm
Okay,
not.
we'll see.
So what are you doing here? Are you taking Brian, or are you gonna, take the high road?
Do you want me to take him off? Sure, I'll take him off.
I say you keep him.
No, I'll take him off. I'll go with
That's two successful bullies.
I'll go with Al Borland.
Oh, that's a good. I like that pick, Dave. Good for you.
He's a good sidekick.
Good for you.
He's a good side.
He's a great sidekick.
Yeah,
Tool time.
Tool time.
Yeah. And Family Feud.
I don't think so,
Yep.
Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Good pick, Smitty.
Yeah, Smitty, you're up.
And again with a number of directions. I'm gonna go Waylon Smithers, sidekick to Mr. Burns. Not my favorite character on The Simpsons, but he is the definition of a sidekick to a T.
Yeah.
And you
To the
can't
point
argue
that he's fallen in love with him. He is kind of
Yes.
like he's like the Stevie Janowski before Stevie Janowski.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, I think it's a great pick.
Yeah. And
The
there's
character just sucks, though. It's a great pick, but it's a this
Right, I
character.
know. He's
One of
like
the worst.
Oh, he's a funny character. He's funny.
he's
He has his
he's
moments.
not. He has his
Smithers.
moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he
sucks.
definition of a sidekick.
But
Yeah.
he gets
But
brought
he sucks
up.
because he is the sidekick to a point.
That doesn't-
Psychics do not suck. He
Yeah.
sucks. Like Garth doesn't suck. Garth rules. Smithers
I
sucks.
know, but he's
a
overly
sidekick.
committed. He's overly committed to the sidekick role of Mr. Burns to the point where he kind of sucks sometimes.
He's a sycophant.
But his stock goes up because they're a power duo.
That's also true.
Like it's a good duo. Which I think we did duos, like the third draft ever.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. Klemmer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to one of my favorite movies ever, Good Will Hunting, and Chucky, Ben Affleck's character in Good Will Hunting is
Great call. Great fucking
He
call.
he might be like the greatest sidekick of all of these because he's so selfless. Like he loves Matt Damon, he loves Will, but he tells him he goes to a job interview in place of Will, which is a hysterical scene. But then that scene, one of my favorite scenes in movie history, at the construction yard, he's like, if you're still here watching Patriots games in 10 years, I'm gonna kill you.
I'll fucking
Like,
no.
you
He
have
goes,
to go
I'll
out,
fucking
man.
kill myself. I
No,
think
he said he'll kill
like,
you.
I need you to go earn your potential. I need to see what you can do because you're doing it for all of us. Like it's just such a great scene. And then when he goes to the house, he's not there.
What
Like
the best part of
that
my
shit-
day is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I cry every time.
Yeah.
Like Chucky is such a great sidekick and he's such a great friend.
But
Yeah.
I'm trying to poke holes in this. Poorly, probably.
Why?
But he, for the sake of the draft,
Okay.
but he tells Will awful lot. And I feel like that's not something a sidekick typically does.
What do you mean? He loves
Challenges him.
Yeah, but it's
almost like a father
sidekick to
more
me
than
is
a-
like a yes man more than like someone who challenges. Like they use the term soulmate in the movie. But in the end, he's a sidekick, and he's great.
It's a good pick. It's a great pick.
I fucking love that movie.
Did not think of it, but it's a great pick.
Yeah,
I love that movie so much.
To
number
me,
2.
So I hope that one of you guys on Zoom is wrestling guys. I was a wrestling guy, Klemmer or Smitty.
Not me.
Oh no, that's just bad. But I'm gonna take it anyways because I know Chief and Dave are not. But sidekicks are huge in wrestling.
Yeah.
They're monstrous. I'm gonna take one that I grew up with in the Attitude Era, and it's Head with Al Snow. Smitty, I don't know if you remember that.
No, I stopped.
Yeah,
stopped
so
up at that point.
so essentially, Al Snow, he's a wrestler in the '90s. Well, he was a wrestler forever, but he had this gimmick where he would walk out with this prosthetic head, and the whole crowd would chant, "What does everybody want?" And everyone would scream, "Head!" What does everybody need? And they go, "Head!" And it was like obviously a euphemism from like head, but it was I don't know, just a classic WWE, WWF Attitude Era gimmick where obviously doesn't hit in this room, but if you're listening, Head was an incredible sidekick that everyone loved. Everyone still loves Al Snow because of it. So, yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's going to hurt me in the room, but people who are listening it'll definitely hit. Fifth round, back to me. I'm deciding if I should get cute here like Chief did or if I should just go how everyone else has been going.
You got a cutesy one?
I got a great cutesy one. For drafting best sidekicks, I think the T-Mobile sidekick deserves some love.
I was thinking of a way to spin that too.
I think the T-Mobile sidekick was a revolutionary cell phone that slipped up. You could type on a keyboard. It's one of those things where I think it's going to make its way back into the market at some point. I think Mark Cuban tried to like bring it back at one point too. The T-Mobile side, especially if you watched the MTV's The Challenge, we got a clue on our T-Mobile sidekick. Yeah. It was a.
I will say I never had one, but I always wanted one.
I never had one either.
I'll also say that like you just gave the example on The Challenge, they did it in Entourage. The product placement, they were trying to make the sidekick a thing so hard, T-Mobile was, and it didn't work because it sucked.
No. It was a thing for sure. It's just touchscreens took over all phones like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think it sucked at all. I don't know what your.
It was like the young.
It's too clunky.
Not as but it was like less clunky than the BlackBerry in a way. And
My
feel
BlackBerry was like this big.
I mean, it was big, but iPhones are big now. Androids are big now.
I don't think it was overly big. I think it was like a BlackBerry for like not serious people. You know, like BlackBerry is like you're doing deals, you're doing your emails, you're doing this.
It's like a teen, college.
Yeah, for younger people.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got anything on the T-Mobile sidekick? Great sidekick.
My iPhone just killed everything.
It
Yeah.
did.
I mean, how was it actually a sidekick though? Besides in the name of it.
Best sidekicks. Chief took cheese, so I don't know.
Cheese is a better sidekick than the sidekick.
Well, technically, if we're in the terms of sidekick, using it as a definition, the Urban Dictionary wise, sure, but it could be vetoed if you want.
No,
I don't have a problem with it.
I
think it's as literal as it gets.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like it being on the board.
It's a literal. Yeah, I think it's funny for the graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Klemmer.
So I've been a sidekick. Eddie knows. Like before I was here, I was on the Kirk Minahan show once a week, and I was the sidekick. And being a sidekick is really tough.
Are you drafting yourself right now?
No.
Okay. All right.
I wrote you in.
Being a sidekick is super hard because you want to make, you don't want to get in the way of the host, but you also want to get your point across, but you're also trying to make the show work. Like, luckily doing Kirk, who's so good, it makes it easier, but it's still a difficult job. So I'm actually picking Blind Mike. Blind Mike is the best sidekick on that show. He does a much better job than I can do, and I know because I did it. He's been doing it for years. He's so good at like balancing off Kirk, and he's so good at like giving these like really sharp one-liners, and like but he never gets in the way of this show, which is like the ultimate, I think, sidekick job if that's your job. And Mike's just really good at it. So I respect the hell out of Mike on that show. So I'm gonna go Blind Mike.
Well, I think the best compliment I could give Blind Mike is that he gets it, and I think he understands that a lot, which is important. I know he grew up listening to a lot of ONA and whatnot, like traditional radio, where that is the format. So he understands the role, and a lot of people don't. So I think that's what helps him excel at it for sure.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not easy to do. He kind of jumped. Kirk started the show. I think he was on the episode 3. They brought him in once, and they liked him. They just kept using him. And then eventually, he was on every show. And then I got the Fridays after Jared left. But Mike was the best at it. He's the best. I've been listening to that show for 4 years. He's the best at it throughout those 4 years.
And they've tried a lot of ones. They've tried a lot of them.
Yeah, they have different ones almost every, all the time. Kirk will bring a guy named Mike Manansky. He's really good too. He is from EI. But Mike he's so much a part of the show, but never gets in the way of the show.
Now, would you consider someone like Whitney or Jared a guest then? Because they can't be in all that, like, that's where it gets all muddled.
It does. I consider Whitney a guest. I consider Jared a sidekick. Jared's done enough times where Jared's been in that role. Jared's done the show like 15, 20 times. So I consider, maybe even more than that, I consider Jared a sidekick on that show when he goes in. But Whitney's done it. Plus Whitney's just like so overpowering, his personality. Like him and Kirk are almost guests. And they're great shows. But like Mike's job and my job, back then, especially my job was so unknown, was like, I got to get out of the way of the show, but also try to help out however I can.
Mm-hmm. I assume you guys have.
I'm not super familiar with it, so I'll take Klemmer's word for it. So, but
I've never listened.
Credit to Blind Mike. That was a
Sounds
nice
like he
compliment.
does a good job.
Yeah.
Beat Blind Mike and Madden one time.
There you go.
Did you? What was the score?
He actually got a touchdown on me. I don't know how. He got a touchdown.
That's fucked up.
How much can he see?
It's
You can
gotten
see.
it's
I mean, you can
gotten
see some.
worse. I think it's gotten quite a bit worse since he's was at Barstool. In the last 5 years, it's gotten
And
worse.
those-
He has a team now.
Those old videos of him playing spike ball and ping pong against Portnoy were they were something else. Yeah.
His vision has gotten, I think, significantly worse.
What
But
is it we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah. Pretty
it's
blind.
it's degenerative. Like, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Okay. That's too bad.
Yeah. But you're right, though. It's not the easiest role, Klemmer. Sidekick on like a radio
super
show
hard.
with a personality
Yeah.
like that. It's hard. Smitty.
So this is the last pick.
Yep.
Your last
For
pick,
you.
yeah.
Could obviously go something a lot more popular here, or basically anything would be more popular. And this is going to seem very derogatory at first, but if you think about it, our own little White Sox Dave, it's a great sidekick, probably the best sidekick at Barstool by far. I think you put him in a situation with Francis, you send him overseas with Donnie. You put him on any show with Portnoy. You put him with John Cusack. You put him up against Incompetence sidekick. You put him up against Gum. Like, he's a sidekick to everything, and he can fit and simulate well in any role.
But you just talked about like all my like natural deep seated enemies. I'm not their side.
Yeah, I think he's more like a little like he's trying to think of the way to put this.
I can't remember what the pick was, but I said that somebody was like an angel on your shoulder. Dave's like the devil. On your shoulder.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he's like the
trying to get you to do
he's like a
something.
little
He's like
like
the evil
evil
twin.
leprechaun.
Yeah, he's like
yeah.
he's like the evil twin who's around the corner ready
Yeah.
to strike.
Yeah.
I also don't like that you're doing this. We're almost done, and we haven't told the spaghetti story or the poker story, so it's all too frenzied.
Would you say that White Sox Dave has been your sidekick before,
No.
Smitty?
No.
100%.
In what manner? In what
In
manner?
Verdansk, I'm your general.
You're not, because you just go and die all the time.
No, I lead. I conquer.
Smitty
You're
was
there.
so insecure about having a sub
You're
1 KD
you're private pile.
that he would play
you're
off stream for
private-
hours on end and just kill people with a helicopter to artificially, not technically artificially, but raise his kill death ratio up by not doing what you're supposed to do in the game.
I would say I would think about you more as a sidekick to Smitty than all of his examples that he used.
Yeah, I scripted
he's
that
obviously
entire thing
sidekick
for
to Gum.
Francis.
I don't
he
think
was
Dave
my
liked-
sidekick.
I don't think you like that pick.
I don't think you sold it very well. Could have been.
Maybe not, but I mean, you're also private up them, so.
Ooh.
So you just said it was an awful pick then. Private Alpin
Well,
was
no, in Verdansk. So I mean,
when
you're
you're
a sidekick
flying
in every-
helicopters into buildings like you're fucking like a terrorist, then
Yeah,
I'm gonna
leading
jump
you to
in
victory.
and ditch you from that helicopter. I'm gonna take my parachute and get out.
No. You actually rode that helicopter into the grave with me, which makes you the perfect sidekick.
Because I didn't know you were flying it into there. I would have told you to fuck yourself and let me out of this helicopter if I knew that you were gonna kill us by flying it into a building.
When we played Warzone, there was no doubt about it. I was Maverick, you were Goose.
It's just not true. It's just not true. It's just not true.
See,
It's just
he's
not
more
true.
of like the resentful, a contentious
Yeah.
guy.
You're a perfect sidekick. I'm trying to kick that as a compliment. Like, we can drop you in any scenario whatsoever,
And I'll
you assimilate
flourish.
yourself to be
Yeah,
a sidekick.
I'll flourish. Right? Yeah, that makes me the more like
As
head
a sidekick.
honcho. Head honcho, I think.
No, as a
is what you're
sidekick.
describing.
I'm not thinking the right way, but I don't know if you use a sidekick in that manner. Like, but
I don't know. I not just because it's me. I don't think it's a very good pick.
Because you're.
I don't know. My original.
It sounds like these
thought-
guys don't
You're nobody's
think so
sidekick.
either. I would say so.
Yeah.
He has a.
My original thought was putting you up there as a sidekick to incompetence or gum. That was the original thought, but I thought it'd be nice.
The only thing I can think of would be it's a hockey reference. So I don't know who would get it, but when Brad Marchand was on Bergeron's line, where you're not Bergeron, you're Marchand. You're the guy who's kicking up trouble. You're contributing. You're raising the level, but you're not the main guy. But you're a little
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a little instigator, a little shitbox. You kind of make things happen.
I relished in that role as when I was in a 2-time all-area player at Wheaton Warville South. Everybody hated playing against me.
Yeah.
But I was also the best player on the team.
Yeah, you're a little cocksucker.
Dave, to you.
Donkey.
I knew that was coming. Yeah.
Duh. I mean, get Donkey in the 5th round. That's just absurd.
It's a good pick, and it's a very you pick.
Donkey.
Even it's such a me. I've only seen the movie once, but he, much like Stevie Janowski, Jesse Sloth, Al Borland, etc., just exudes what it is to be a sidekick. I think the hardest I laughed in that movie was when the dragon was wrapping him up like a serpent, and he was just having a conversation with it and yucking it up, and he's about to get swallowed whole. I was getting an ab workout. I was laughing so hard at Donkey at that scene. But yeah, he's just a little loyal little jackass. Love him.
All right.
Best comedy of our time.
Yep. Number 5, technically.
Right.
The 5th best comedy of our time. But his number
of
1.
2000 and 2009.
Yes.
Yes.
Of that decade.
We're saying Shrek is the best comedy of that decade.
It's what I picked. I was the
Hangover,
fifth
Wedding
pick.
Crashers. I mean, don't
I
worry about
couldn't
it.
pick those because they were already
Superbad,
drafted.
4-year-old version.
They were already drafted.
The story, 30-year-old version was not. 40-year-old version was
I think
not
I picked
drafted.
that next, maybe.
We did a 2000-2009 comedy draft. First 4 off the board were Hangover, Wedding Crashers, Superbad, and Old School. And Dave had the 5th pick, and he took Shrek. That's the story.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Is it not a comedy?
It's not funny. It's
It's funny.
I hate Shrek.
It's if you
I
Google
don't
what
like
kind of
Shrek.
movie is
I don't
Shrek,
get
it's an
it also does
animated
not
comedy.
stack up anywhere near those movies. That is an insane pick. Role Models came out that decade. I think Role Models is so much.
Role Models was good.
It got drafted.
No, it accidentally did not.
It didn't?
Role Models is a
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah, I
took-
like role models.
He took PFT took "I Love You, Man" on accident instead of Role Models.
Oh, yeah,
Is that
that's
what it
right.
was?
Yeah.
Which is an easy mistake to make, I think.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall came out that decade. That's insane.
Great movie.
You could choose not to die on that hill, Dave, and be like, I should have picked something else. It's okay.
Definitely, sure. If I would have picked it 25th, no one would bat it an eye. But people are arguing that it's not comedy like Klemmer, which is just batshit crazy to me.
I didn't laugh.
Absolute. Well, you are a unicorn, Klemmer.
Well, I was an adult when it came out, so it wasn't very funny to me. I think it's funny
I
for
saw
children.
it for that was one of those movies. Like everybody's has those movies. That another one's Star Wars for me. I've never seen any Star Wars, but I had never seen Shrek until 2 years ago, I think it was, and I watched it for the first time and I fucking loved it. It was fantastic.
Chief,
And there is a lot of adult humor in it. It's
Were
subtle,
you
but
6
it's there.
years old 2 years ago?
I was 33 years old 2 years ago.
Oh,
Chief, Mr. Relevant.
I still have a very deep board here.
I do
feel
too.
like. I'll take. All right, this is just a personal one because he's a. It's almost like a Stevie Janowski in a way where I don't know how it's going to resonate, but Gary in Veep is to me he's just such a funny character. He just does everything for Selena Meyer, which is Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character. He's such a little dink nerd, carries around a big purse that he calls a Leviathan. He is a hilarious character on an awesome show, and he is the definition of a sidekick. So I feel like it won't hit that well necessarily because judging by the look in the room, you haven't seen Veep. No. But Veep's an awesome show. Highly recommend to everybody, and he is a great side character in that show. So Gary from Veep.
You want to talk about comedies in the 2000s or until now? Veep is very, very underlooked.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You're right. It might not be the most popular pick because people just haven't seen it.
Hasn't
Yeah.
it won like a million?
Yeah,
Emmys?
but that doesn't necessarily
Yes.
go hand in hand.
Yeah. Like it's an elite show. You would
yeah,
love
Kind of
it.
overshadowed.
Yeah.
What?
It got overshadowed by a lot of HBO shows, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Veep is so funny.
Yeah, Veep is great.
In a world where everyone gushes about The Office and Parks and Rec and whatever, you're saying like it should be on that level, right?
Yeah,
I think it's written more intelligently than that.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. That's what their
That's
point
sick.
is. Yeah, like, but
You've seen it?
no. I just know people when you could look at it from the award side or being like, why aren't people like more
Yeah.
in love with this than they are with these other cult shows?
No, I get it. It's not like it hasn't gotten like the fanfare that The Office or Seinfeld.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yes. All right. So that's the draft. We could do some honorable mentions and we'll vote and we'll get out of here. Smitty, honorable mentions you got left?
I got a few. I think Turtle from Entourage would be
Yeah.
the only one you could vote in as a sidekick. I don't think E is one. I don't think Drama is one, but Turtle definitely sidekick.
I think Drama
Alfred
is one
Penn-
too.
I think they're all kind.
They
I
all
would
are.
if you would have said I draft the Entourage crew, I would have kind of taken that as one.
One
Yeah,
side.
because
second
Yeah, but
selection.
Turtle's really the only guy that like is the true sidekick. E like tries to be the manager. Drama has his own career.
But Drama
Then he's
also
big.
is his nutritionist and chef and shit too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
why it's an honorable mention. I didn't
Yeah.
want to throw it out
Yeah,
there
yeah,
because there's obviously better. The
I've
genie
actually-
from Aladdin.
You've gotten
I had that on
to
my
know
list.
Jerry a little bit. I've DM'd with him
Yeah.
here and there. He's a good fucking dude.
Great, awesome
Yeah.
dude. Keith Farrar is an awesome dude.
Mm-hmm.
Great man. Genie
Just play
from
Call of Duty
Aladdin,
with him.
Robin Williams,
Yep. Great one.
powerful sidekick, and Alfred Pennyworth.
Yeah.
I've debated
Yeah.
about.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think he's more of a father figure than a sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking I was going along Chiefs lines. I was trying to think of like some biblical sidekicks,
Dude, I
Like,
I
had
was trying to like
Joseph
John
or Mary Magdalene,
I
or John
think-
the Baptist, but I
Yeah.
don't think it would have played well.
I had Jesus on my list because he's God's sidekick.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
he's his son.
Okay,
he
that would've
kind of
played
is by
fine.
default.
He sent him down to earth. Like I can't do this shit.
But
you go
it-
down there.
But he sent him down alone. Does he have to be with the guy to be the sidekick?
But Jesus is God, apparently, right?
God's omnipresent.
I want to have a like Catholic divinity priest, PhD on here to be like explain the Holy Trinity to me because I've been hearing about it for 37 years now and I still don't.
Almost 38.
Yeah, almost
coming up.
38. Yeah. Thank you.
It's almost like they make it confusing for a reason, Chief.
Yeah, I think they probably do. Yeah.
What else we got, Smitty? That's it?
That's it. That's it on my list.
Clemmer?
Yeah, I have Tom Hagen from Godfather.
Yeah, good one.
I thought that was a little too gray. Andy Richter, Ed McMahon, kind of late night sidekicks.
Yep.
And then Barney Rubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barney Rubble.
Yeah.
What's Barney Rubble?
Fred Flintstone, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had never gotten Flintstones.
Barney deserved a nod. That's a miss. He was on mine too. Chief?
I had Kobe. That would be the better version of Pippen. So Kobe was the sidekick to Shaq when they won the first three.
I think Shaq could be they're like each other's sidekicks, kind of.
Yeah, but Shaq got all the MVPs in the finals. He got all the finals MVPs with Kobe. So like he was the real alpha, and they got rid of him, and Kobe had his own thing. But like that would be. I had Kobe on my list. I didn't take him. I had the Moon. The Moon is the Sun sidekick. It's a great sidekick. I thought about drafting that. Sala was my Indiana Jones one. I thought he was in 1 and 3. I thought he was a better sidekick. Ron Weasley, Samuel Tarley. I had
Fuck Samuel Tarley. He's a fat
I
asshole.
watch it.
Wilson, the volleyball.
I had Wilson.
It's a
I
good
thought
one.
about that.
So that's like
He's not
half.
a very good sidekick, though, really. Like, he's.
I mean, enough to make Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks cry when he lost him. Like they were pretty tight. They only thing he
Yeah.
talked to for 4 years.
He could have at least tried to swim back to the stick raft, though.
Have you guys seen
I
House?
know, yeah. He quit pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen House of Cards?
I've not.
Okay, Doug
Only the
Stamper.
first season.
Doug Stamper
yeah.
is like the Gary of a serious show where he's like this political, chief of staff, and he just like covers up murders and like all this insane shit.
If someone's willing to cover up a murder for
Yeah.
you, that's a good sidekick.
Yep. Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. And I had
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great one.
Fuck yeah, Mike
Yeah.
is a miss. I forgot him
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
and then Jorah from Game of Thrones as well.
Okay.
Like, he was he's a good sidekick.
Dave, anything else?
Dog from I Am Legend. Navi from
That's
Zelda.
a good one.
That's a good one.
Navi from
That's
Zelda.
an intelligent one, Dave.
The dog is a good one, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on like every list if you would have just Googled it.
I used my own brain.
I tried not to. I wanted to be
so
creative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you go
use
with
our-
your own
I'm
brain,
trying
but
to
then you don't
cheat,
want to
Dave.
miss
Trying to
anything.
be ethical.
It's not cheating. You want to make sure you have everything. You can't. It's hard to touch into. This is a deep ass draft.
I'm surprised nobody took jelly. I don't like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, that's. A good
I don't
one.
like jelly, so I didn't have it on my board. But
What else,
Scrappy
Dave?
Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy
Cameron from Ferris Bueller.
Okay.
Mick Jagger. Or Keith Richards to Mick Jagger. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Wilson, Joe Pesci to De Niro, and then this would have been a package one too. Timon and Pumbaa, and then a Boo from Aladdin.
Okay. Silent Bob. I don't know if you guys were.
I was never into that. But
Oh, yeah,
I'm
It's
aware.
definite. It should have been.
Yeah.
Probably.
I love Mallrats
Yeah.
and all those. So Jay and Silent Bob are great. Surprised you don't think hockey. I think Evgeny Malkin was a great pick. I think that's pretty clear.
I feel like a winger is like.
But he's a center. Yeah,
But it's
like
by
it's not as
nature-
obvious as the basketball ones to me. But like you could hit. Pick,
Would you take that over Messier?
No, I wouldn't.
That's what I was thinking.
But I also don't think Messier was as big of a sidekick as Yari Curry to Gretzky. So
That's what I mean. I mean, the sidekick when you come to sports, it's Scottie Pippen and it's everybody else.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
also do think that it fits. It just fits better as a name and a narrative in basketball than it does in hockey because you're playing.
We couldn't even think of a good baseball one, like other than
But
like
you
Don
think, Smitty, you got a good
Drysdale.
one.
Who?
Don Drysdale, exactly. But like nobody's going to get that.
Yeah, I think
I-
you could. Like,
Great
I'm
pick,
trying to
though,
think
Smitty.
of like a second base shortstop combo that like the second baseman would be the But I was having a hard time with that too.
Yeah, like Chuck
Omar
Knobloch to
Vizquel.
Jeter.
What?
Brian
Omar
Chuck Knobloch
Vizquel
to
to
Jeter.
Roberto Alomar.
Brian Roberts and Miguel Tejada.
Yeah. Maybe like a pitcher catcher battery. Like
Yeah, that could be too.
That could be.
I'm surprised you don't think Crosby and Malkin are.
I don't think of Malkin. Like I have a block on this because I
I
went
put
to
Yager over Malkin.
Yager to
Yager.
Lemieux.
That's good too.
But like
Yager and Lemieux. Yeah, that's
to
good,
me,
Smitty.
it's like Yager's the fourth all-time leading scorer. Is he a sidekick?
Yeah,
like he did it for so long without Mario too.
Yeah, I
And
agree with
then-
you. But on that team, it was Mario's team.
On the two cup teams for sure. But like
Yeah.
Mario was hurt for a good chunk of that run. He broke his hand, and Yager still carried them through the playoffs. So
Is Yager still playing in Russia?
he's in the Czech Republic. He owns a
Yeah.
team and he plays for that team. He played again this year, so I think he's 51 now. He's still playing. Maybe Korea and Solani, but they're kind of like equal. I don't know. I don't think it's as natural. Like Taves and Kane were like equal.
Maybe just because you're too close, but I'm
Maybe.
saying like as a casual guy, I would definitely
Yeah,
think
maybe.
of that as that way. And then my
Malkin's
last
also
one,
like more. I think he's more physically talented than basically anyone I've ever seen. So it's hard for me to think of him as
As a- yeah.
6'4". Like he's fucking awesome.
yeah. My last one, you said Kobe. I would say Penny. Shaq
Dude,
and Penny.
I fucking
That's a
love
good one.
Penny.
Yeah, I'd say Shaq
I
and
just
Penny.
don't
were-
remember enough of them because I
Yeah.
was so young.
That's a great one, Eddie.
Yeah. So.
But Eddie, I mean, we were young. There was a time where Penny and Shaq, I'd like to think, were like kind of equals.
I don't think they were ever.
Shaq was always better, bro. Like Penny had a doll made after him. Was like a kind of a superstar.
That could have been the sidekick.
The Penny,
Little
Penny.
Little Penny.
Little Penny, yeah.
Little
That was-
Penny,
yeah.
Yeah. No
All right.
diggity.
I'm going to run through these and we'll vote who will be left off today's poll. Eddie, Scottie Pippen, Mini-Me, Short Round, Head, T-Mobile Sidekick, Klemmer, Robin, Garth, Paulie Walnuts, Chucky, Blind Mike, Smitty, Goose, Luigi, Walter Subcheck, Smithers, White Sox Dave, Stevie Janowski, Jesse Pinkman, Sloth, Al Borland, Donkey, Chief, Dwight Schrute, Chewbacca, Braun, Cheese, and Gary.
I would love to you just say Kobe just so people would flip out.
Yeah.
Write it down or whatever. Smitty, who you got?
For winning?
No,
who's in last? Who's getting left off?
Who's not
Who's
getting
in
it?
last?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm not an eastbound down guy. Like, you just Donkey might have saved you, but I think you're
you
last on
are
the list.
such an idiot. You are such an idiot.
Klemmer.
I hated Dave's first pick, but the rest of the list kind of bailed him out. I think I might have to go with you, Eddie.
Okay.
Sorry.
You've never even seen Eastbound and Down.
I have. I've seen a few episodes. It's not to have it be one.
This is like
It's
Brandon
not
Walker's
popular enough to be
argument.
taken in the first round.
I'm not picking you. I'm saying Eddie's has the worst. I said the rest of your draft was
You
very
hated
good.
my first pick. You don't know enough
Yes.
about the first pick to form an opinion on it. This is like Brandon Walker saying, "Oh, I
That
played
tells me
Zelda."
it's not a very good first pick, then, Eddie.
What'd you say?
It's not a very good first pick, then. If people don't know
Because
enough
you
about
haven't
it.
seen it, everybody that follows us, Klemmer, our audience,
I mean, I
Everybody
could say the same thing
will
about Head.
eat fucking up our Stevie Janowski. You're a little older than our typical demo. This was Eastbound and Down was like insanely popular.
I think
All
his
right.
It
point.
was pretty popular, but I mean,
I think there's a big drop in like recognition from Pippin, Robin, and Goose to Stevie Janowski.
100%.
I think that's the argument. That's all.
Okay.
All right. So 1 vote for Dave, 1 vote for me, Chief.
I'm voting for you, Ed.
White Sox, Dave.
Ed.
I voted for Klemmer. I'm off. If Head is my fate, that's fine with me. The people who watch
It was
wrestling will know.
T-Mobile. That was it for me.
But I could tell you guys were already voting me off if they're Head.
I
Nobody
think your
said a
top
word.
2 were elite. I thought the last 3 were rough.
The
Yeah.
Short round
Yeah.
rough.
I don't think he's the best
Short round
sidekick.
rough. You complimented him.
I
During
like
the pick.
him, but I don't think
rough.
he's
You
as
just
good.
said rough.
I think that was the worst 3rd round pick. Yeah.
I like
Paulie
the short
Walnuts
round
doesn't
pick,
even
but
I don't
apply.
mind the short round pick. The last 2 picks are horrible. But
Yeah,
the-
You've
I don't like
never
the short round
seen
pick, but
wrestling.
you easily could have gotten short round. In the
That's
fifth
that's
round.
what
Nobody
that's.
was thinking-
I
Yeah, he
hate
could've.
when people do this. Brandon, he's like, "Oh, I played Zelda." That's like I said it. Being dropped into a 3-hour movie, seeing 20 minutes of it, and saying you know how it goes. That's what Brandon Walker is trying to argue about Zelda. It's a story. You have to play it start to finish to understand it. And you like, oh, it's a horrible pick. You can't say it's a horrible pick because you don't know what you're commenting on.
I mean, for
You
me,
did that with Al
I can
Snow.
say my
I
experience
did
is
it.
that's a horrible
I did
pick.
it. Al Snow could be a fucking home run of a pick. I have no idea. T-Mobile was what sunk it for me. I think that was you were trying to right there.
I don't think that's truthful.
dude, people can say like Ed McMahon as the number 1 sidekick of all time, like, and you could put that first round, but if nobody fucking saw the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, who's still alive, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I mean, I did, but it's okay.
I know you did.
But you're acting like this is the most obscure pick of all time. People know who Stevie Janowski is. People know who
For
Kenny
a
Powers
first
is.
round, for a first round pick,
Sure,
you probably could've won.
maybe
I
not,
liked
but
it as
you-
a 1st round pick for Dave because it was authentic.
That's absolutely part of it. I had to fucking draft it. I had to because I love that character. 2, he is the absolute epitome of a sidekick.
I had a 3rd round grade on him.
All right, we're
Based
going
on the
in circles
popularity
here.
of the
Dave's
TV
seen it.
show,
Other
sure.
people have not. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I voted for Klemmer just because of the Paulie Walnuts fiasco.
I rubbed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with it.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was right.
I liked having you guys on, though. I'll say that.
I love doing the show. It's fun with you
Yeah.
guys. It's a blast.
Yeah. Also interesting that Pippin, first pick, only sports player. That's pretty crazy.
Well, it's
Yeah.
because the drop off so heavy,
Yeah.
so heavy.
I guess you could consider Head, but it was a mannequin. All right then, guys. We made it without the poker story or the spaghetti sauce story.
Well,
That's a shame.
okay. On that note, Smitty, the degenerate bum, lost $500,000. Had to bum it from his parents because he was gambling too much, and live at home and pay them back over the course of time, a handful of years ago.
Not exactly what happened. I basically won $500,000 and then lost the $500,000 over a course of 2 years.
That's not
And
as
I-
bad. That happens.
That-
But you lost more than $500,000. You had to get bailed out by your parents.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
By the
yeah.
end of it, I was $10,000 in debt, and I needed to.
You need a little cosigner.
All right, Smitty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you know what I did? I went back home. I evaluated my life. I started
Sold
my own
pasta.
sports blog, and look where we are.
Smitty, you have the
turned
floor.
$500,000 into a negative Hyundai Sonata. That's
Yeah.
hard to do.
Yeah.
Smitty. That's pretty impressive.
Well, Clem, you have to understand. when I was a quote professional online poker player, like I didn't win a tournament of $500,000 and lost it all. I won $500,000 over the course of time, and I ended up $10,000 in debt.
That's gambling, baby.
Exactly what happened. You had $500,000 and you lost it all.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
That's what happened.
Over a course of 2 years.
That's
Okay,
gambling.
But it's still,
You lost it though.
the money's gone.
Did you not
The
lose
money's
it?
gone.
It's better to love
Oh,
it
yeah,
lost
wait,
than never to love it all.
Where's that, Smitty? Where's that money now?
It's, that money from 2009, it's toast.
Yeah, it's gone. So you lost it.
I won a poker, Dave. I won a poker tournament in 2008 for $79,000. You know the first thing I did at 23 years old?
Take the
I took
boys
my
to
12
Vegas.
fucking buddies to Vegas. Blew like 25 grand.
Bet
That's
you
where
would
that money.
Bet you would have liked to be Smitty's sidekick back then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That would have been an appropriate time to be a spot kid.
Good for you, Smitty. Good for you for doing that.
Did they pay you back?
Smitty, the floor is yours.
Oh, they didn't need us. The floor is mine. I'm not gonna tell any Dave Ace stories. Like it's okay. Maybe we'll have a couple streams coming up. We can evaluate some.
That'd be fun.
Some Dave that
Cameron
that-
just got here this morning.
So there was spaghetti sauce on Dave's dog's ear that he thought was blood, but it was just spaghetti sauce.
No, that was
he
a rash
called
he was talking
he
about.
called me and asked to talk to my wife. There was a rash, he thought, on Ace. He didn't know what it was. Sent a picture. My wife didn't know what it was, and it came off because it was in fact dried spaghetti sauce.
Do you believe this?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I don't know why would Smitty lie about it. Why would
Because he's a
Am
liar.
I going to call Smitty's wife a liar? No.
Smitty's wife's not the one telling the story. Smitty's lying right now. He actually did have a rash, and that also cost me $500. I had to go get this fucking foam treatment. He had like measles.
Thank you, Smitty.
Have you or have you not spilled spaghetti sauce on your dog?
Oh, I've spilled everything on my dog.
Okay.
I've spilled
It's a
lots of-
plausible story. It's
It's
plausible.
a very plausible situation.
It's a rare
But
case of ragu.
it plausible,
ragu
absolutely. Did it actually happen? No, not in any way. There was never any spaghetti sauce Smitty's wife ever in the same story with me in it. He's making stuff up. But you did lose that $500,000. And
All right. That's it, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.